Hello and welcome everyone to the Magical Witchy World TV. I am Star Ravenhawk.
And I am Rhonda Allen. Welcome back, everyone. Happy
Yay!
Friday. Happy
Yes,
Friday.
happy Friday.
And now
Now,
for our
with the show.
special guest. New on
Yes.
with the show.
It's a magical, witchy world. It's a magical, witchy world.
All right. Welcome, welcome, and
Woohoo!
welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome. Hi, welcome, Kate Johnson. It's such a
Hmm.
pleasure to
Welcome,
have you
welcome,
here this
welcome.
week.
Oh, I'm so happy to be
Yes.
here. Thank you for inviting me. Good to meet you
Absolutely,
folks.
absolutely. You're welcome to be here. So happy to have you.
Oh,
Exactly. So, as we like to do with all of our guests, I will read through your bio, introduce you to everyone, and then we'll begin our Q&A.
ooh.
All right. Kate Johnson. This old witch has several playful witchy books available in bookstores and online on subjects ranging from tarot to restoring a sense of the sacred to cooking to
Mhm.
magical activities to do with children. Her most recent, Witch Wisdom for Magical Aging, gives a voice to four, oh, I can't wait to get my hands on that, gives a voice to four seasonal witches who help us feel good about becoming an elder. She
Mm.
lives with her black cat in an old house in a Hudson Valley village with frequent visits from her witchling granddaughter. And she can be found at katejohnson.com. I want to keep saying Caitlin. katejohnson.com. And we will be scrolling that throughout the program tonight. So
Great.
welcome, welcome.
Oh, thank you.
So
Blessings
happy
on
to have you here
everybody.
tonight.
Thank you.
All right. So let's begin our Q&A. And one of the first questions we always ask everyone is the arc that they took in terms of what they referred to themselves as. Not
Mhm.
names that, or titles that you've been given or anything like that, but what you yourself have called yourself over the
Mhm.
years and what you see yourself as now.
Okay, well, I'm one of those people that's a little allergic to titles, if you know what I mean. And yeah, and basically I'm a root kitchen eclectic witch. That's how I see
Oh,
myself.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
And I'm all
So
about,
were you started with, did you start out calling yourself that, or did you just, because it
well,
does take time.
I was raised, of course, like most of us, sort of a quasi Christian, right? But
Right.
ever
mm-hmm.
since I was a very little girl, I knew there was more to witches than green skin and a wart on the nose. So I collected everything I could about witches, and they weren't all negative. Some most of them were.
Yeah.
I was doing seasonal rituals when I was a little girl. I was
Wow.
outside dancing around a little fire that I'd made myself. My parents let me light fires when I was young.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was, and then I
Different
realized
time.
there was a whole subculture, and now it's becoming not so sub, which is awesome. I met my first real witch when I was in the process of divorcing my husband at the time, and it just sort of all evolved from there. She was a great teacher. She was very formal.
Mhm.
Everyone was wearing black robes and had a script,
Wow.
and I'm like, that's not, no, I'm all about the ecstatic experience. So
Yeah.
Okay,
I formed
okay.
my own little group. We called ourselves the Howling Coven. And we did a lot of like ecstatic drumming and howling and dancing. And it was just lovely.
That
Just,
sounds
That's awesome. That's
absolutely
awesome.
fabulous.
I mean,
No
I love
way,
my teacher, but yeah.
but and we all have stories. So that actually segues us straight into the question I'd like to ask, which is, I mean, you told us about how you were, lighting fires and dancing around these little fires when you were a child, which is
Mhm.
amazing. Um, so that suggests that this is something that has been a part of who you are
Oh, yeah.
from your early days. So
Well,
how would you say what actually brought you to even engaging or meeting with the woman who then became like your mentor, if you will, as you came into
Right.
the practice?
Right, that's a good question. I mean, it was just part of my makeup. Here's my theory. I think every woman is a witch. It's just
Hmm.
drummed out of us by our family, or our religion, or school,
Yeah.
or the culture. And I was
Hmm.
lucky that that didn't happen to me.
Wow.
So to find
Wow.
out that there was an actual witch that I could meet and that I could learn from, I'm like, all right, sign me up. So it was a
That's
natural
awesome.
evolution. Yeah, I did my first spell when I was, God, how was I? 12 maybe? And it
Wow.
worked, which was really something. Yeah.
That is
So
that is awesome.
I
You
think
know,
everyone has that in them, you know, the ability.
Wow.
Some
I'm
That's
more
really
than others.
happy to hear you say that. I think a
yeah.
lot of people, I think they doubt or they second guess their
Oh, sure.
ability capacities. So
Sure.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
think she was very fortunate actually to be have parents that were open minded to it and all of that, because we all know that most of us, about 90 or so% of us, came from the the traditional or the big religions,
Right.
and
Right.
they kind of gravitated to what this is for
Right.
them,
But
depending on what they call themselves.
right. This is
So
radical.
that sounds like it was a privilege.
It was. My dad's an
And
agnostic and a scientist. He
mm,
was. And,
right, right,
and so he was fine with, go and explore. My mother
right.
was a closet Catholic. And so from her, I learned my love of ritual and candles and incense.
mm,
So yeah, it
yes,
was,
Okay.
yeah,
That's awesome. And that's a great segue for the next question, because one of the things we like to ask is from your point of view, not anyone else's point of view.
Mhm.
So it's your point of view. What does it mean to be that witch?
Oh, witchy is about owning your inner power, trusting your intuition and the messages you get from your body, your
Mm-hmm.
gut. It's about being not just connecting to nature, but knowing you're part of it and it's
yes,
inexplicable.
Right,
Um, and I think particularly for women, witchcraft has been so empowering.
right,
We're not helpless victims. We can do a spell. We can, do a meditation. We can, it's about self-healing, I think, for a lot of people. And it's
right.
about owning our power to make things
yes,
different. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but that's kind of where I'm coming from with
No,
what is
but
yeah,
that's what I mean. It's from your point of view.
right.
So there's no
yes,
wrong or right way, because it's your
Right.
point of view.
Right. Good point.
And everybody's point of view of whatever they call themselves or deem
Mhm.
themselves to be is very
Mhm.
different.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's the whole point of it. People want, in wanting to know about you yourself and what you think of
yes,
yourself.
Right.
So
yes.
yeah, so there's no wrong answer for that. That's
I
just
like that. I'm so much about wanting to help people feel empowered. I live my life according to a couple of things. One, the
right.
seasons and the elements. I'm so about the elements.
Okay.
And the next thing is
Awesome.
to help people feel safe. I have a counseling practice, and a lot of
Mhm.
it is just how to listen to someone so they really feel heard and so they feel safe to tell their
Okay.
stories.
That
Um,
sounds
and, and
great.
and then to be empowered. I mean, we have not, as women, really been taught how to feel empowered.
Right,
True.
right.
Ugh, and especially it's really bad right now. So,
Yes.
so yeah, I'm
That's
trying
that's putting
to
it
help
mildly.
women
Yeah.
feel good
I
about
know, right?
themselves. Yeah, yeah,
That's
Okay.
that's putting it. Yeah, that's definitely putting it mildly.
yeah, right. Ugh.
Women are feeling it and from all different corners.
Yeah.
Um, so the telling, sharing that this was you how you came into it was sort of natural and that you were
Mhm.
in, you grew up in this environment where it was okay to explore and to discover. And now with your practice, you're also now opening or giving people that safety where they can feel like they can explore their inner
Mhm.
selves.
Right.
That is a huge part of your life, I'm certain. That's that
Mhm.
work that you do. So tell us about how that magic is incorporated in your day-to-day life. How is it? It's in your practice, it seems, because that opening uh, has some magic to it for me. But how do you
Mhm.
incorporate magic into your day-to-day living?
Well, I have a morning practice that I do that means a lot to me, and it's a way of feeling connected to the earth and the sky. I learned this from a shaman friend of mine.
Mm,
I
mm-hmm.
go outside barefoot. I only don't do this when the weather's just really awful or I'm sick. Otherwise, I can be standing out there on ice or snow. It just,
Wow.
whoa, it really wakes you up, let me tell you. And I have a
Yeah.
little chair, that I do. And I have what I call magic beans. I mean, you can't even see them. They're these little dried up habas grandes,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I have taken a Sharpie and written a word on each one, all different words. I have 73 because I'm 72 and there's one to grow on. And I pick just a few and I think about the words that I get because I so
Yes.
believe in synchronicity. And I have a combination of oracle cards and tarot cards that I pull every morning to sort of give me a heads up.
Yes.
And when I have the time, I like to take oracle walks or omen walks, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
Oh, it's a technique I love to teach my clients or students. You just
Mhm.
go out and you just open your senses and see what you see or hear or smell. And to me, that's magic is all around. It's just that we don't notice it.
Right, right. And a lot of people don't empower themselves with it, or they don't see it.
Yes.
Though they think, I meet a lot of people who say, "Yeah, I've got to get home and get to my altar to do different things," and I'm like, okay, because to me, like you said, it's all around
It's
us.
all
You
around.
can do anything from wherever you are.
Exactly. I've gotten
Awesome.
some of my most powerful omens driving in my car and noticing bumper stickers. I'm like, oh my God, that so speaks to me. And sometimes I've
Right.
noticed that whatever you want to call it, the goddess, the great mystery, the great spirit has a fabulous sense of humor.
Right, right.
Right.
Awesome. So,
I
tell
I
us a
so
little bit.
agree.
What do you consider to be important to you?
Well, God, where do I start? I mean, what's important to me? My family and trying to
Mhm.
empower my friends and clients. Um, I love to create ritual experience. That's one of the things that I love most. And
Right.
until COVID, I was a director and also the writer, and I wrote songs for it of these very strange, offbeat, surreal, shamanic theater pieces. And
Mm-hmm.
the whole point of
Mm.
doing them was to change the audience's consciousness.
Right.
And that's really important to me.
Oh, I
Creativity.
love that.
Yeah, creativity is really important to me. I mean, a writer and I was a visual. I have an MFA in costume design. I'm a theater person.
Fabulous.
All these things. It's a patchwork life, but I love it. And all the little patches are so different, but
Right.
Yes.
somehow they all go together to keep me
They
warm.
fit together. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, I care about the planet, and that can lead to real despair.
Right. Right.
You feel like there's only so much one person can do. But one of the things I love to do on Yule, the winter solstice, is
Mhm.
turn out all the lights in the house, all of them,
Mm.
and then
Yeah.
like sit in the dark for a while and love it, and then light
Yes.
one candle, and it really makes a difference. And that to me is an illustration of what just one individual can do to make a
Right.
difference. And
Right.
you can
That's
What a
light
awesome.
other people's candles. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there
That's
you go.
awesome.
That's a great practice.
Yeah, it
I love
is.
that idea. And yes, and it reinforces the power of just one person,
Right. And
one
even
person,
better,
one light.
yep, if you can find a community of like-minded others, which
Right.
I'm so lucky because I have, different circles that intersect, and they're
Yes.
all wonderful people, and we're all trying to do our best, and we're trying to hearten each other because right now it's not easy.
Right.
And that really helps.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. That well, talk about another segue, which is literally the question about community
mm,
and your work with community and what you'd like to do with community or how you're engaging with community right now. Tell us more about
well,
that.
I go to protests when I can, and I carry my little "Be Kind" sign that I made.
Right
And
on.
a week from Sunday, I'm going to be doing a wonderful, like a Beltane themed photo shoot with my little theater community that I've created and
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
installated. Oh, we're going to have so much fun. It's all going to be, we made flower crowns, and we're going to have a little tiny bonfire because there is a fire ban on, but it's in a
Yes.
very safe place. And, we're going to do circle dancing, and we're going to be feasting and,
Oh
just
my gosh.
roistering.
Yes.
It's going to be, yeah.
Awesome. That's
So,
wonderful.
yeah, experiences for people that help them feel bonded and help to generate that sense of magic possibility.
Right, right.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Mm.
Okay. which is another great segue. What would you like to see us as witches accomplish? Because I know you mentioned a few things that you had mentioned about in community and what's important to you. So I could kind of guess some of it, but
I bet. Yeah, pretty transparent. Yeah. What witches can do? Well, first of all, even though I do go to protests once in a while, that is not really who I am. I'm not good at shouting slogans, and I just no. But I think partly because of some of my shamanic beliefs that we can change reality through our presence and our prayer, but not to some like Judeo-Christian God. You know what I'm talking about. Meditation. By the way, I took a transcendental meditation class when I was 21. And they told me, and I think it's true, they have proved that if a certain number of people, a small number of people in a very violent city start doing TM, the crime rate goes down. I believe it.
See, that is powerful.
Yeah, I think we can change things on that subtle level.
Right.
Yes.
Energy is connected, so why not, right?
Yeah,
Precisely.
that's awesome.
Precisely.
Yeah. And witches, we're part of it. And anytime a couple of us or more get together and drum and raise energy, that's got to have a good effect.
Right.
Totally agree.
Absolutely.
It's an impacting at some level.
Yes.
There's no question.
Create some sort of a wave throughout the system.
Right.
You're right. It's a non-ordinary level.
Right.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
When you think about it, and you mentioned that you have this community of theater or like-minded folk that you're going to be doing this Beltane event with, what other things do you have coming up this year? I mean, you have this new book that was just recently released.
Yeah.
I mean, other projects and things that you're thinking about doing this year?
Absolutely. Yes. I've always written nonfiction, very spirit-oriented, earth-honoring, witchy nonfiction. Well, I've been trying to write fiction all my life. I mean, I have written fiction all my life. Like many writers, I have a couple of novels stuffed in the back drawer, right?
Yes.
Right. Well, I'm working on, I guess you'd call it a YA novel about a young girl who has terrible things happen to her. She's half Roma, and her mother is a music hall singer. And her father, she doesn't know who he is. And it's her adventures. So I'm having a blast writing it.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it grew out of a trip that I took to Wales when I was a young woman. And I had this like intense feeling on this hillside that I'd been there before. I never had, but I felt so at home there that it was eerie. And there was this huge hawk sitting on a tree branch. It was winter and there was snow. We were near the mountains. And I just remember this hawk and I made eye contact. And it was just one of those moments, that I'll never forget.
Wow.
And so a lot of this novel takes place in Wales, in a little village that's a lot like the one I remember.
That sounds so exciting. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
No, it's intrigued. And maybe a publisher.
Yes. Yes.
That's great. Do you have any events coming up that you not just projects but events that other than Beltane that you mentioned? Any other events that and where are you guys having Beltane, so maybe people might come to it?
Oh, it's unfortunately it's a closed thing. But
okay. All right.
But if it goes really well, I mean, I really miss doing theater for audiences.
Okay.
We've had such a blast doing that. I mean,
right.
only audiences every time, and people just seem to love it. But not quite yet, because we're still coming off of COVID, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
No, but I mean, the big event that's coming up for me, and you would know about this, Star, is WitchCon 26.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's next year. That's next March, I think.
Are you in it too?
Yes. Yeah. This was my first year.
We do every year.
Next year as well. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, excited.
Oh, it's marvelous. Okay, there are a few good things that came out of COVID, and doing things on Zoom is one of them, because you can get people from all over the world.
Right.
Truth.
Great. So yeah.
Absolutely true.
Yeah,
Absolutely
that's
true.
Yeah.
Well, that we're looking forward.
All three of us are going to be on it. That's awesome.
Absolutely so. Absolutely so. Excited for that. Well,
yes.
This has been a great conversation. I would like to ask if you would hold up that book again, your latest release. Yes. I
There
can't
it is.
wait to get my hands on that one. Witch
Yeah.
wisdom for
Oh, what?
magical aging.
Yeah, I
That has
gotta
been
say,
such a topic.
the
Yes.
illustrations are so beautiful. My friend Anya Aldrich did them. So there
Awesome.
is a color painting for each of the seasonal witches, and
Oh,
they
how
Wow.
are gorgeous.
beautiful.
Nice.
You
That's
can cut them
beautiful.
out if you want, even and frame them. And my other friend,
Yes.
Susan Millen, did design the image for the cover, and they're elderberries in it. Ha ha.
Nice.
Oh, I love it though. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you
That's awesome.
so much for taking the time to
Yeah,
be with
we
us
really appreciate
tonight.
it.
This was
We are
fun. Thank you.
yes, we really appreciate it. We're scrolling your URL. So everybody, if you want to get access to her books, grab that URL and visit. Thank you
Right.
so much.
Mwah.
And
Thank
now,
you.
thank
Such a pleasure meeting you.
you. And now,
Bye.
Bye.
a word about the other shows here at Magical Witchy World TV.
All right.
Yay! Oh
It's
my
such a pleasure
gosh.
having Kate Johnson with us tonight.
Seriously, I
All
can't wait to
right.
get my hands on that book.
I know, right? Okay. So we're gonna continue and give you guys the last of the tarot cards for beginning with Libra to Pisces tonight.
Mhm.
So your April, again, we mentioned your April 2025 tarot card readings for each
Yep.
zodiac sign. And again, there are important cosmic journeys coming to a close during April 2025. And this month's tarot reading can help guide you as you charge ahead on this clearer path. So tonight, we're going to finish up the last six signs. And we're pulling the card for each one of those signs. And it's for the sun sign, the moon sign, and the rising sign. Okay. So for Libra,
Mm.
it's the Knight of Swords. So, Libra, get ready to spring into action. Seasonal pun not intended. The Knights of Sword. Let's see, the Knights of Swords right
I
here.
I have it out.
Okay, the Knights of Sword is
Yes.
on a single minded mission, charging full speed ahead with a razor sharp focus toward exactly what he wants to accomplish. And this month, you're being struck with that very sense of mental urgency and drive. But you've got more than just visionary plans and ideas. You've also got the motivation necessary to chase those things down and build them up. So stop overthinking and start putting the pedal to the metal. This card also aligns perfectly with the climactic energy of the full moon in your sign, which peaked on April 12th, and capitalize on the mid-month lunar momentum and use it to fuel your goals. In any case, it'll be best to start your pursuits after Mercury retrograde, which ended on April 7th. So you're doing great right now if you can, as you'll be able to see the path ahead of you a little more clearly. All
Right
right.
on. Now, Taurus, the moon. Oh, that's not the moon. Here's the moon.
I think I have the moon here from my deck.
Right on. Taurus, the moon, you've got an important choice to make this month. Scorpio. What? What? Wait. No. Hold. No. Scorpio's the two of swords. Hold on a second. We may have to come back to Taurus. We may have to come back to Taurus.
Uh-oh.
Yep. We'll come back to Taurus, but let's jump to Scorpio. I'm going to do Scorpio.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
I'm
Let me
going to
check.
jump down to Scorpio, which is two of swords, which honestly, I appreciate the two of swords. A lot of people don't particularly like the imagery because it's swords and they don't like swords to begin with, but I like the two of swords and I'm Scorpio. Anyway, wherever you have your Scorpio placements, is your sun, your moon, and or your rising, you've got an important choice to make this month, but you might not be feeling very decisive about it. You can surely blame Mercury retrograde for the lack of clarity and direction during the first week or so of April. So blame that. But the Two of Swords indicates that there are some other energies at play too. So other things were happening. When this card appears, it's usually because two different paths lie ahead of you, which is great. Unfortunately, unfortunately, no, wait, let me just do a thing. Um, Unfortunately, the challenging part is that you probably don't have all the details you'd ideally want in order to make an informed decision about which of those paths to take. Can be a little unnerving. Knowing the right move is hard because you simply don't have enough hard data to work with yet. Obsessing over the pros and cons in your head, turn your focus inward and seek more intuitive guidance. Key and critical about that. Once you accept that there's no perfect answer to your dilemma, it'll be easier to hear what your gut is telling you to do next. Listen to your gut. Right on.
Okay, and I'm
So I'm
gonna
going to
do the
leave
moon. I can't try to
the
find my
chat.
moon card.
Oh,
Okay. All
oh,
right.
you're going
So
to do
I
the moon?
got the
Okay.
moon card, and I'm gonna do the Taurus moon
Okay.
card. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So Taurus is bringing the intensity. Open your heart to all that life has to offer this month because your Scorpio horoscope for April 2025 is a full of romance, connection, and yes, a touch of drama. So this
Mm,
month's April season motivating vibe has you drilling down into your responsibilities and zooming through tasks like there's no tomorrow. But be willing to temporarily set your to-do list aside because the first week of April had you became unexpectedly amorous. While
mm,
wild child planet Uranus in your relationship zone will make some gorgeous connections to your lusty cosmic ruler Mars, heart eyed Venus, and a slew of other powerful celestial points and planets, all of which will infuse your interpersonal connections with spontaneity, electricity, and a fateful feeling of destiny. And during the second week of April, both Mercury and Venus wrapped up your retrogrades, at which point you may find that your taste, expectations, and desires in love and dating have shifted dramatically from what they were 2 months ago. As a Scorpio, you're born to continually evolve. So embrace this new version of yourself and give your heart what it's craving without judgment. The sensitive full moon on April 12th was the
mm.
perfect time to turn your focus inward and try to integrate some of the retrograde lessons that you've been dealt recently. Once that lunation is out of the way, the moon will slip into your sign, locking itself in a beautiful grand trine on April 15th. That involved red hot Mars, romantic Venus, mental Mercury, serious Saturn, and the North Node of Destiny. That was a lot of things
Mm,
there that was
a
involved.
lot.
Energy flowed abundantly across all corners of the cosmos. So look had you looking forward to all sorts of lucky alignments and opportunities when it came to your creativity, your passions, and connections with others. Practice showing trust and gratitude to the universe and allow these good vibrations to resonate deep into the crevices of your spirit. Go get a Mars zoomed into your career zone on April 18th. So get ready to kick ass and take names when it comes to your professional goals.
Mhm.
Just don't let your competitive streak spiral out of control, as once the sun entered Taurus the following day, an intense cosmic squabble may have started forming between these two planets and power hungry Pluto, aka your other cosmic ruler. And this T square will be potent through the new moon until April 27th. So strike a balance between honoring your hunger for success and getting lost in the need to win at all cost. The former is always going to feel more satisfying in the long run, even if the temptation for the latter is hard to resist. All right.
So, so I'm gonna jump right down to Sagittarius.
All right.
Right down to Sagittarius, the Chariot. All right, Sag. This month, the Chariot is pulling up to your doorstep, ready to usher you to your next destination. There's so much in this card, you guys. I can't even. But you're no passenger princess, says Sagittarius. So be ready to hop into the driver's seat. and take the wheel. When this major arcana card shows up, it usually means that something significant in your life is officially in motion and you're en route to something new. Means that it's something new, excuse me. Um, whether that's a goal you're working toward or a whole new phase of your life that's in the process of unfolding.
Sorry, wrong card.
Chariot, yeah. While the universe is happy to give you some direction, this card is your sign to grab the reins and figure out your next moves yourself because it's up to you to steer this ship. I can go on and on. This is one of my favorite cards, you guys. I mean, seriously, one of my favorite cards. But since it's up to you to steer the ship, it means that you need to do some preparation, like mapping out the best route, making sure you're stocked up on the supplies you'll need for the journey, and figuring out where you'll land once you arrive. Note that these two sphinxes in this card are seated. They're not going anywhere yet. They're just trying to figure it out. They're like, well, we're here, we're ready. Now what? They have to figure it out. So you need to prepare and figure out, map out your journey. So long as you're willing to put in the work this month, the chariot will take you wherever you need to go.
Wow, I
All
love that
right,
card.
Sag.
That's a really great card to have.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So now we've got what, Nine of Pentacles
Nine
with
of Pentacles for
Capricorn.
Capricorn.
All right. So this is the Nine of Pentacles that I've got. Can you guys see it properly? I think it's shining a bit.
Favorite. Yep, can
It
see
feels
it.
like it's shining just a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, a little
All
bit.
right. So Capricorn, opulence is your destiny this month, and all the earthly delights of spring are about to blossom at your fingertips. The Nine of Pentacles highlights the lush feeling of abundance that results from pouring hard work into your lifestyle, and now it's encouraging you to enjoy all the beauty that life has to offer. You've been tending to your garden and taking care to ensure your needs are provided for, and now you have every right to indulge in the creature comforts that have sprouted forth from your efforts. You're living the good life this month, so don't deny yourself an extra indulgence or two. This card can also aligns beautifully with the upcoming energy of Taurus season, because once the sun entered the sensual earth sign on April 19th, which was my birthday,
Yay!
it
Yes! Happy
made you
birthday,
feel
Storm!
even more in tune with the things that bring you joy and pleasure. So lean into the luxuries. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody loves
All
that
right.
card. Now, Aquarius, let's just line up. This is amazing because Aquarius, your
Is the
card is
Hermit.
also the card for 2025. That means for this month, you are in double alignment. I love this. Aquarius, while spring vibes may send some folks into social butterfly mode, you're probably feeling a little more introspective than usual this month, and that's okay.
Yeah.
The hermit tends to show up when it's time to do some internal processing without the influences and distractions of the outside world. A parenthetical thought. That message is true for all of us for the entire year.
Yeah.
Feeling a little more introspective than usual, and that's okay. You're in the midst of some meaningful personal growth spurts, and it's important to protect your energy and give that process time and space to work its magic. Sometimes pulling away from the action can help you see your next moves with more clarity. Additionally, once Taurus season started, the sun entered your chart's home and family sector, making the last third of April ideal for hunkering down and spending more time being cozy in your private space. There's deep wisdom to be gained from a little bit of solitude, so don't be afraid to prioritize alone time. Right on,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Aquarius.
All right. And the last one, Pisces, Seven of Wands. As a gentle Pisces, conflict is never fun, but sometimes even the most sensitive souls have to stand up to the haters and fight back. This month's people unnecessary aggression could test your patience, and you might feel personally attacked by the things that others say or do, even if their outbursts aren't meant for you. And when you're facing these kinds of oppositions or blockages, you have every right to defend yourself. against the negativity that's getting thrown your way, because both Mercury and Venus are retrograding in your sign this month. Mercury, it will retrograded until April 7th, and Venus did until April 12th. So it's possible that some of the friction you found yourself rubbing up against involved unresolved issues from the past. If you stay true to yourself and stand tall in what you know is right, people will see that you're a force to be reckoned with, and there's a good chance you can finally put the drama behind you. Yes.
Force to be reckoned
Yes.
with.
Yes.
Love
Yes.
that. Right on,
Yeah.
Pisces. All
Yeah.
right, guess what?
All right. So,
Woohoo!
Rhonda, what would you like to have us pull a card on? One card,
Yeah.
everyone. And don't forget, get your card out. See if you can pull it now. If you're watching it afterwards, pull your card out then. But let's do this.
Yes. Well, I know we are moving into our new moon phase. New moon will be on the 27th. So, in 2 days,
Yes.
new moon. And what are we? New moon in Taurus. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So, let's look at all those things. I'm just going to say it, all those comforts and pleasures that we need to really just ground ourselves in. What is it that we need to set our intentions on when it comes to our comforts and what we need and pleasures, our comforts and pleasures? What do we
Okay.
need to ground ourselves in our
All right.
comforts and
So,
pleasures? And pull one card, everybody.
yeah, one card. Oh, oh, wow. I love this. Okay. So, what do you got?
I got the King of Pentacles.
Oh.
Girlfriend, I am not playing around this new moon. This new moon, I am going all in. I am king of earth. And the world's going to see me indulging with pleasure, sensuality, enjoying myself, good meals, good comfort, all the things. I'm not playing. I'll be the king of pentacles this
There
new
you
moon.
go. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Okay. Girl, you would not believe this. The Queen of Pentacles.
You
I'm sitting here
can.
going, I'm just sitting
What?
here looking at it going, oh, I love this. I always get pentacles at certain times. But I was looking at it, and then you said king, and I started laughing.
That is so crazy. I love it.
So, okay, the Queen of Pentacles, like you said, you're going to be the King of Pentacles. Well,
Yeah.
don't forget the Queen, that
That's
female energy, switching the head to put it wherever she needs to put it and get what she wants. She will do what she needs to do to get what she wants. That's the way I see it. She's like,
oh my
I've got
god.
this.
I love it.
She's
I
like,
can't.
I've got this no matter what. I've got this because I'm going to have everything that I need.
Yes.
My her creature comforts. See
Yes.
that little doggy next to her feet right there?
Yes.
She's gonna
Yes.
have her creature comforts and
Yes.
everything else with it. She's gonna sit
Yes.
on her throne. She has her garden, her everything. I'm like, yes, I'm there. I am so there.
it's just I mean, you can't
I'm
make this
like,
stuff
we're
up.
gonna
That
we're
is
gonna we're gonna get
crazy.
there. We're gonna get there.
That is
All right.
awesome.
So
That is
that's good.
fab.
So next week, our guest will be June Jennings. We
Yes.
can't wait to have her join us.
Yes.
And we wish tonight to thank all of you in the chat and our
Yes.
guest Kate Johnson for joining us tonight. We want to thank
Yes.
you so much. And
Please do like, subscribe, and share. We really appreciate when you contribute and when you give us some feedback. We'd love to hear more from you. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. And we will see you
see you next
next
week.
week. All right. Have a
All
great
right.
week,
Take care,
everyone.
everyone.